So I've had this truck approximately 4 years. It's got 87,000 miles on it. It's a 2008 Chevy Silverado 1500. I've put about 17,000 of those miles on it. I don't really drive it a lot because I have a company car that I take home and drive to work, so that gets all the miles. Overall, it's been a great truck. I've had a few issues with it here and there. I've had to drop some money into it for some replacements, but these are just 5 things in general that I don't like about the truck. I may not necessarily hate them, but it's just 5 things that are aggravating to me sometimes. And so we're going to get started right here with number 1.
Rust. It seems like every Chevrolet has rust issues, and this one's no exception. I put these wheel well liners in to try to help slow it down some. That is after I replaced the bed sides. They were about $6,000. These cab corners are the worst spot on Chevy trucks for rust. They always rust. I've seen almost every truck with the issue. The bottom of the doors do. This door has the weather seal. The driver's door does not. It's rusting a little bit. There's some up there near the hinge. It's not too bad. We're looking toward the back of the truck here. The latch for the third door, it's got some on it. And toward the back in that cab corner is probably the worst spot on these trucks for rust. Number 2 is the factory ride height. I don't know why these 4-wheel drive Chevys sit so low in the front. Now I have a 2-inch strut spacer on there as a leveling kit, which helps, but as it was from the factory, it's just way too low. The leveling kit doesn't mess up the geometry of the 4-wheel drive too much, but it does give me just enough clearance to clear my tires, which are factory size, and I can turn wheel lock to wheel lock just fine. It makes a big difference. I still don't know why they sit too low. The heavy duties don't. I wish this is something that Chevrolet would change. The third thing I don't like is the rear drum brakes. I have no idea why they went from 4-wheel disc on the body style previous to rear drums on this one. My last 1500 had 4-wheel disc. It stopped great. These stop okay since they've been adjusted, and I've already had to replace both drums and shoe sets on this truck, and it doesn't even have 100,000 miles. I don't know, as you can see, they're already rusting, and these brakes are less than a year old. I don't know why some of the smaller cars have 4-wheel disc, and a truck that needs stopping power doesn't have all the stopping power that it's capable of. Yeah, the truck stops fine. On the front, I have centric rotors and power stop pads, which help a lot. But like the rear drums on the back of the truck, I know they don't do a lot of stopping power, but when I'm towing or hauling a load, it'd be great to have 4-wheel discs if I needed them to make an emergency stop or something similar.
So another thing I'm not a fan of about this truck, or any GM really, are the switches. They seem to be pretty cheap quality. Now here on the air conditioning, not actually had to replace these, but I've seen a lot of them where like the displays just wear off and it just etches away the material and it looks really cheap. I've not had any problems, but then again, like I said, I don't really drive this truck but maybe 2 days a week and not a lot of miles, so I'm not in it a lot. More so the power window switches. I've had to replace these things twice already, and the power mirror, same with the power mirrors and the door lock switch. Everything but the window lock switch has already been replaced. And on this driver's side door, the passenger front window rolls down, but it will not roll it up. I have to reach over to the other door to roll up the window. And on the driver's side rear window, it will roll it up and not down. I have to reach behind me to roll the rear window down. It's annoying. These switches don't really cost that much, and I can replace them easily. But they should have been made a little better. I don't know if it's the contacts or what, but they've always just seemed like they're cheap switches. The steering wheel controls, I've not had any problems with these. Now the panels, I've got this trim on them, but this was supposed to be black. It's worn off now and it's like a silvery color. Apparently that's common, but I'm not going to do anything about it because I have the trim on them. That's number 4 on my list. Just these cheap switches. These things here have broken off. I've replaced this with the custom stereo. This is no longer one, it's a USB and auxiliary input now. So the 5th thing I don't like about this truck is some of the factory electronics, specifically the body control module. So I've already replaced it once because my keyless entry stopped working, and then after the dealer replaced it, I lost control of all my tire pressure monitoring, which isn't really that big of a deal. I check it every week as it is, but that warning light on the dash is really annoying for the tire pressure sensor. My tires aren't flat, they're fully inflated, but but it thinks they are because the modules failed. What it is I can reset the tire pressures and they display, but once I turn the truck off and back on, then it just shows blank. So this module is not that expensive. It's a couple $100, but replacing it is a hassle, and it's not really the top on my list of things to do to the truck right now. So it's just going to wait. But it's aggravating because I've already replaced it once. It's out of warranty, and it's telling me all four of my tires are flat when they're really not. That's all I can really think of right now. That's just 5 things that I think aren't really my favorite things about the truck. I don't really hate them all. If there's anything you don't like about the truck, just let me know in the comment section below. If any of these have been a hassle for you, I'm interested to hear what you've done to fix them. I hope you enjoyed this video.